Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. We're back with another episode of Raising an Ace, and I'm Mariam.
It's Brian again.
And here's our little AC.
Say hi, Ace. Be confident. Be confident.
And today's episode is going to be about how to be confident.
Yeah, so our last few videos was introduction, of course, then to be authentic, to be smart, to be purposeful. Now it's to be confident. And we're doing to be confident after the last few for a reason. Because when you know who you are, when you have intelligence, when you're living with purpose, that naturally leads to having confidence. Your confidence is built from something.
Right.
So let's just go right into what confidence is. I mean, we were talking, it's being self-assured, believing in yourself and what you do, utilizing your strengths too.
Yes.
And it's also important to note what confidence is not. So we're not defining confidence in this video as being overconfident, meaning you know something that you don't, meaning you feel like you're good at something that you're not, meaning you're too rigid in your opinion on yourself that you're not willing to think about something from a different viewpoint. Or maybe you're overconfident, you're not willing to learn new things. That's not what we're talking about. We're also not talking about fake confidence, which is just confidence on the outside, just an outer portrayal, but on the inside you're lacking confidence.
Right.
You know, so in this video we're really going to focus on internal confidence and outside confidence. And ideally you want to build that internal first. So we're going to go right into that to start this video.
Yeah.
So as we said, the confidence has got to be built from something. So ideally it's built from your experiences, from actually doing things.
Right.
You know, when Ace, if he excels at a certain activity, that's going to bring forth confidence to him.
Yes.
And I thought about this idea from David Goggins, who's a former Navy SEAL, very tough dude. He writes books now. He's overcome a lot in his life. And he talks about the cookie jar, which for him is every achievement in his life, including adversities that he's overcome.
Look here.
He taps into that cookie jar when he's, say, on a 100-mile race.
Right.
Or he's writing a book, or he's setting the world record for pull-ups in 24 hours. He taps into that cookie jar to give him strength. So, Mariam, we were thinking, why not do something similar for Ace? You know, maybe call it an achievement book.
Right.
Maybe every Sunday he'll just write down an achievement or something that he overcame maybe during the week.
Yes.
I mean, it could be like he got 100 on a project.
Overcoming a fear of talking to someone.
Yeah, maybe he has a crush on someone at school, right? And he overcame that fear and he started a conversation with that person.
Right.
Or he learned to cook something new, or he finished a book. Just any accomplishment every week, just put that in that book. So when he's lacking confidence, look at that book and be like, I did this.
Yeah.
This is who I am.
Right.
You know, take pride in that. And then also, work ethic and confidence go hand in hand too. So if Ace is pushing himself to be the best person he can be, then no matter if he wins or loses, no matter if he succeeds or fails, he can still hold his head up high, knowing he gave everything he had to it.
Right.
You know, so that all-in mentality plays a major part in being confident too.
Yes.
Paying attention, Ace?
As you can see, Ace is very confident.
Yeah. And also that work ethic piece, you can tie that to having a growth mindset too. So tie it to the classroom. If the teacher asks a question about math and Ace thinks he knows the answer, raise his hand, right? So this is tied to decision making.
Right.
A lot of people lack confidence because their decision making, when they're making a decision, they overthink the downside to it.
Right.
So they might think, you know, if I raise my hand, maybe I get the answer wrong. But when you really evaluate that, nothing really bad happens from that. Perhaps something good will happen. The teacher will appreciate that he raised his hand.
Right.
So if he thinks he knows the answer, raise your hand. I think so many people, man, they just overthink things and they're in their head about not doing something because of a potential downside that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So we want Nate to just go all in with things as he's throwing things, of course.
Also, it's, you know, they always say that
Ace, man, what are you doing?
No question is a dumb question unless if you don't ask it. So
yeah, like be confident in yourself.
Yeah.
And we're not saying like if you don't know how to do something, act like you're confident when you're really not. But in terms of decision making, be confident. I'm tough, so I can deal with him hitting me in the chin because I know it was an accident.
Yeah.
And then also, Ace, what are you doing behind me? Stay in the middle here. And then also, it's tied to purpose too. when you're living with your purpose, you have confidence in that. So say for me, I'm not confident programming computers or playing golf or something like that because I don't know how to do it. So you're naturally confident in your strengths. So with Ace, we want to, and she's attending to him a little bit because as you can see, he's a little fussball right now. So, like I said, we really want to encourage his strengths. So we want to pay attention to him, be alert to when he's doing something.
Right.
If he's at the park, age 3 maybe, and he's asking us a lot of questions about, say, how does the grass grow, Mom and Dad? How do the trees form?
Right.
You know, like how did that basketball hoop get to the playground?
Yeah.
We might answer, but we're also going to say, man, Ace, you're asking a lot of curious questions. That's one of your strengths, being a curious person. And as you can see, we're not saying comment him on things he's not good at, because that's called fake praise. We're not going to do that. But when he's actually doing something good, praise your child. Let them know their strengths.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And then also, you may be thinking, well, do we just encourage confidence for a child's strengths? And no, but it's a different sort of confidence.
Yeah.
So for the areas that he can improve on, we want to encourage him to work on that and improve. And in that sort of scenario, his confidence is in what he can control and his growth mindset.
Right.
You know, we don't want to shelter him from the world pretty much. We want to put him in uncomfortable situations maybe where he can grow and develop his confidence. You know, like that example we talked about in the last video on if he's 8 years old, bringing him to the park to maybe sell cookies or motivational magnets. Mm-hmm. You know, even if he's hesitant to do that or he's uncomfortable a bit, putting him in that challenging situation will ignite his growth. We may say things like, wow, that was great that you were able to sell that cookie or magnet to that person.
Right.
You know, like Ace, we really want him to not just focus on his strengths and be confident in that, but also his areas of improvement. Because that will really enable him, Mariam, to be confident in every situation. You know, so as he grows older and say he loses a job or he's just going through a health issue or conflict in his personal life, or there's a pandemic going on like right now with the coronavirus,
right,
his confidence will never waver because it's consistent, right? It's just a stain pretty much that never goes away. It's always there. So we really want to encourage that for Ace.
Yeah.
And then with that too, we don't want him to think that being uncomfortable or being nervous is a sign of a lack of confidence. Excuse us, she's gonna turn off her phone. So we don't want him to think that being nervous is a lack of confidence. That's my phone actually. I have 2 phones, one for work, one for sales, so I'll take blame for that one. But so if he's nervous, just frame it in a positive way. Like in your body, there's no difference between being nervous and being excited. You know, so change that nervousness to excitement and let that propel you to have positive self-belief in yourself. So we're going to pay attention with that when those situations come up with Ace.
Yeah.
Then also, this ties into just fostering his identity and who he is. Mm. So we're going to ask Ace questions like, what do you take pride in, Ace? What are your skills? Who are you? You know, like we really want Ace to take pride in who he is. You know, we'll share stories from our family and so Ace can take pride in his history, in his family history and where we come from.
Right.
So this is also about him having pride should be constant. He shouldn't be looking for validation from other people. No. You know, like if he's age 6 and he has new shoes, don't worry about if he gets compliments on it or not. Right. If he's age 10 and he's showing kindness to a classmate, don't worry about if the teacher acknowledges or not. Yeah. His confidence, Ace, he did it again. His confidence in his attire does not depend on if other people notice or not. Right. His confidence in his kindness does not depend on if a teacher notices it or not.
Right. Basically, he doesn't need a cookie for everything he does. You know.
Nah, like his confidence should be there regardless. His self-worth is totally up to him. Right. You know, and not even when people are neutral and don't say something, but even when people say something, if people oppose him or are biased against him, like say he's 5 years old, someone says something mean to him, or he's 15 and on social media, someone says a racist thing to him or something hurtful. Yeah. We want Ace to understand, other people's perception of him do not have to equal his perceptions of him. Right. You know, he can deflect that off of him. Like his self-worth is tied to him. He can stand up for his convictions and who he is and have pride in who he is regardless of what people on the outside are saying. So that's something we want to instill in Ace for sure. And like all that we mentioned is internal confidence. It's not words, it's not how you look, it's on the inside. We really want to emphasize that with Ace. He's able to be confident with his self-worth regardless of what's going on the outside.
Right.
And now I want to switch to outer confidence a bit, how you look, because they strengthen each other.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of parents might overly focus on the outer, and I just see teenagers every day. They might have the outer confidence, but deep down, they don't have confidence. They don't believe in themselves. They don't know their strengths. They haven't really done much in their life to be confident for, you know? So you need to combine both. So saying that, outer confidence can be important at the same time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to speak things into existence.
That's true.
Like the great Muhammad Ali once said, I am the greatest.
All right. We're taking this break.
Ali once said, I am the greatest. I said that before I even knew that I was. So he spoke into existence with his words. So sometimes you have to be confident in saying things out loud, and that can be beneficial.
Right.
And with Ace, I was thinking, like, how can we combine this, you know, proclaiming positivity out loud with positive self-talk in your head? And I was thinking, maybe every night we're going to encourage Ace to say something like, I will inspire, I will dominate, or I am myself, or I will overcome. And each night he's going to focus on one of those phrases or a different phrase and say it inside of his head for 30 seconds.
Right.
As he goes to sleep, maybe. So if he can go to sleep like with that confidence in his brain, that's gonna he's gonna wake up with it, and that's gonna really ignite his confidence to another level.
Yes.
So many people that go to sleep angry or with negative thoughts, we don't want that. We want him to go to bed with positive self-talk.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, perhaps in the mirror, he says that phrase that he slept on out loud for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a powerful way of just speaking it into existence on the outside.
Right.
Maybe we're gonna try that with these.
Yeah. We're definitely doing that. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and then modeling too.
Right.
Like if I'm going into work, I might say out loud to Ace, like, I have this big presentation today. It's a lot of pressure, but I know I prepared for it, and I'm confident I'm going to do well. You know, we want to normalize confidence.
Yeah.
Then also just other things on the outside, like his posture. We want him to stand up straight.
Walk straight.
Yeah, if you stand up straight, that even affects your mind too, and you look more confident to people.
Right.
You know, smile when you're happy. Don't fake smile, but if you are happy, show smile. I mean, show that you look positive, present yourself in that way.
Yeah.
Talking wise too, it's okay to be soft-spoken at times. I'm soft-spoken at times, but when the situation calls for it, to project your voice and show your confidence verbally, we want Ace to project that. So we may have that conversation if he's not in certain circumstances.
Yeah.
And also, man, we might not even have to say anything to him. Like if he's 15, just maybe show him a video where he's talking, and he might get the message. We might not have to say a word.
Right.
I mean, even for me, like, I didn't really like how I sounded at like age 15 and 16. No one had to tell me to improve my voice. I just heard myself talk. I'm like, I need to work on that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's like outside confidence. And with that, guess what? Children can't hide their facial expressions. Children can't hide their body language.
They can't.
So we're going to pay attention to Ace.
Yeah.
Especially when he's around other children and what like vibe he's giving off. If he has some doubt, we're going to ask him, what is the reason for your doubt, Ace? As you can see, Ace is getting fusty now. He's almost 9.5 months and he's really showing his confidence outward. We're going to have to tame that at some point. But
yes.
Yeah. So as I was saying, just have conversations with your child if they're showing doubt or a lack of confidence. Also, frame it in a positive way. Ask your child, what do you do well? And how can you incorporate what you do well in your strengths in this activity?
Right.
You know? And also, I want to mention too, as we're wrapping up with this video, overconfidence is preferred to a lack of confidence, especially at an early age. What I mean is, it's easier to go down than up. So if Ace is overconfident and way too overconfident for his own good, that's okay, because we can tame him to a lower level. But it's much harder to go from a lower level to a confident level.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And this ties into, don't feel bad about being confident. Like sometimes there's a negative stigma to it.
Sorry. Ace is whacking us all over the place.
Sometimes there's a negative stigma to it.
Right.
But we're not talking about that sort of confidence. We're not talking about having bravado for no purpose or being arrogant. We're not talking about that. We're talking about confidence for a purpose, for uplifting other people, for uplifting yourself. You know, the world, you serve the world no purpose by playing small.
Right.
So sometimes you have to let your light shine. You know, we really want Ace to understand that. Humility is important. We'll talk about that in the next video. But don't forget to actually be confident. Let your greatness and your light shine onto the world, pretty much. You know, so that's the message in this video, man.
Yeah.
Parents need to understand, confidence is not just on the outside. So you can do positive affirmations all you want with your child, as we will do.
Yeah.
But we're going to combine that with making sure he has that self-belief that's built from something, from the work that he does and his work ethic, and he knows his strength.
Yeah.
We're going to make sure all that is clicking on all cylinders. You know, and the last point that I want to end on is, a child can't be confident without love.
Yeah.
Right? Unconditional love.
Right.
That gives a child all the power in the world to go out there and chase their dreams.
Yeah.
You know, like the first time we did this video, Kobe Bryant passed away. So I like to mention him in every video if you haven't noticed. But he mentioned in an interview, his father told him it didn't matter if you won or you lost. I'm going to love you regardless.
Right.
And Kobe said that gave him all the confidence in the world to go out there and try his best, because he knew he had someone in his corner to fall back on.
Yeah.
So that's the message too. Love your child. That gives them confidence. And all the stuff we talked about, take that to heart and really reflect yourself on how to ignite that confidence in your child going forward.
Right. And remember, confidence is a stain that no one can wipe off.
No one. It shouldn't matter on the circumstances where you're going through. You should have the internal belief in yourself that you can overcome anything. If you're going through adversity, don't be having a delusion that everything is all right, but have the confidence in yourself that you control what you can control. You have that self-belief in yourself to overcome anything.
Yeah.
And pretty much show pride in who you are and do what you do.
Yeah.
So that's the message in this video. Till next time, take care.
Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, please don't forget to like, share, and comment down below. And we love you guys.
We love you. That's what the world needs, especially at a time like this with this virus going on. Say goodbye, Ace.
Say bye.
You were very active in this video, which I like.
This, baby?
Which I like.
Say bye. Okay.
Till next time.